Greetings. Hello. Hello. Who's here? Oh, sorry. I was on the wrong view, people. I didn't see you in here. Thanks for joining. Oh my goodness, here we are. Chatmosphere, welcome, welcome. Being Nessing, I see 420 Wild Dragon, TW Arts, Artist Poet. Yes, PJ. Hey, PJ. Is it okay to call you PJ? I'm just giving you nicknames and all kinds of things. Does someone have a loss in here? I don't know what's going on. We have Beth. Hello, Beth. Welcome. The chatmosphere is filing in. IG roller coaster. I keep saying roller coaster. Roller disco. Disco 17. That's our number, right? 17. Hiya, hiya, hiya. All right, so we're here. I won't delay with too many greetings, but thank you for joining. If you are joining on a replay, I want to thank you for that as well. Thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so we're going to start off with let me just explain. Let me take care of a housekeeping chore. I did say I was going to drop the whole episode thing. I know it's getting really tiresome. Everybody does episode this, episode that. I like it personally. I think it's an organizational thing. But for me, surprise, surprise, this is coinciding with a lot of writing that I'm doing, and having the episodes, it's been helpful because it coincides to the age that I am personally. So I'm going back to my year 34. Okay, so I'm 34 years old right now. I have to think about what was I doing, okay? Looking at cultural touch points, right? We can remember a lot. We can access memory. And accessing memory is very important. Sorry, you guys. I have some new makeup powder. I'm having skin issues, okay? Bear with me. I am addressing. Does anyone else have skin issues? I think my makeup is a little too pancakey. I was just trying to do a little bit of something for you. I try to present a good face for you, okay? So it's just my efforts. I don't want to just roll on to the cameras looking any kind of way. That's not how I was raised, okay? It's not about anything but home training, okay? It's my home training. But I'm having some issues with my skin. It's an ongoing thing, but I think I'm finally getting resolution. So sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. Okay. So, yes. And you know where I learn a lot of the stuff about skin? The young people. They're experts at skin. Have you noticed? If you're on the TikToks, right? The young people are skin experts. The Koreans, shout out to the Koreans. I love you, the Koreans. I love you. I've never been to Korea, but I hope that you have everything that you need in life, that the Most High Yah will pour down abundance to you over in Korea. And I hope that you bring us more knowledge about skincare, okay? Because it's like certain cultures you have to know. They just have the knowledge. You have to give it up to them. And I don't know where the Koreans learned all this stuff. It's fascinating, but it's fabulous at the same time. Okay, I'm just rambling. But you know what? I want to ask you too. Okay, I got rid of my, not got rid of, I took care of the housekeeping thing by just appealing to you that I'm going to keep the episodes, if you don't mind, when I do the titles. All right. Okay, so is that it for the most part? Yeah, that was it. Let's start with the first title slide. Let's look at this year, 1998. Do you remember 1998? Do you remember? What were you doing? Tell me what you were doing. Let me know. I know already with IG. Hermana, you were out there roller skating still. She's keeping the roller skating culture alive. Next slide. Did we even show this? We'll get it. We'll have the slide for you. But I want to just say thank you for joining again. Okay, so our first slide is the title slide. Like I said, we are at 1998. If you can just go back in time, get into a time capsule with me, and think about this, because I really had to stop and give pause to the fact that we are about to turn a new millennium. We're on the verge of it. 1999, Prince, remember, of Minneapolis. So, whatever's going on in Minneapolis, I don't know if you all would be doing this if Prince were here. I hope not. But anyway, Prince would probably have a lot of interesting things to say about what's going on there. But Prince, in terms of like this time period, he created the song. He wrote the song. What is it? 1999? Was it called? Yeah, 1999. And we're gonna party like it's 1999. Yeah, dun, dun, I almost forgot it. So that song 1999 being recorded so early, you have to wonder what is going on, because we already talked about on the first of, they say, the calendar year of January, that is an agreed upon thing. I know that I'm singing with the choir. We're all on the same song page, right? Hi, Sherry. Um, oh, you were having babies. Okay, Sherry was having babies in 1998. Very good. Thank you, Sherry, for having babies, bringing babies into our world. Thank you so much. I hope your babies are doing well. And you. Thank you for joining. Okay, so yeah, so Prince and all of this calendar stuff. Millennium. Think about this. A millennium. We are about to turn another millennium. Hey, Donna, can you imagine? I wasn't really thinking about it from that standpoint at the time. You met Prince in 1983. PJ met Prince. Oh, a Prince story. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have you calling in soon, okay? We're working on it, right, Marlon? Marlon, we're working on having them call in, right? Because this
is true. This is true.
We're working on it, okay? PJ, this is the kind of thing I would want you to call up and tell me your Prince story, okay? So keep it in your memory bank, because you may have to circle back, and please tell us. Okay, so I love it. I love it. Hey, Beth, you say you were renovating a house. Oh, I know, it was beautiful. You guys, Beth does such beautiful stuff around her home, so I know it was fabulous. You were with your ex and your late husband up in Atlanta, right off Boulder Crest Road. Oh, I already know, Beth. Boulder Crest Road. Beautiful, beautiful. My dad, one of his favorite hobbies was handyman. It's a long story about how he stumbled into doing handyman work, like on the side, and I would go and help him, and we would go all around that area. He did like just all these really nice areas of Atlanta, little hidden out nooks and crannies and these really elite areas. And that area, Boulder Crest, from what I remember, really nice, really nice. Yeah. I know you did a beautiful job, Beth. Greetings, Karen. Our look at that. Our beautiful Harlem Sentinels here. I thank you, and greetings to you, Karen. Thank you. I hope you're doing well in our gateway city, right? New York City is the gateway to the world, they claim. I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that so much. Okay, so Karen is here, so we're all safe now, Chatmosphere. We have Eavesdropper. Welcome. Welcome, Eavesdropper. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. All right, so we're safe. We're real safe now. Eavesdropper and Karen, don't worry. You can say, well, I don't know. I don't know about the comment, the chatmosphere, you have to watch certain words, okay? Because on YouTube, even in the chat, Karen has told me this, there's certain words. So you already know we've been censored. We've been running from channel to channel since 2020, right? So a lot of us are already we are well versed in censorship and how to somewhat avoid it, right? So if you don't mind, be mindful of that because they're everywhere. The little AI bots, I guess. Hey, Wyoming chick, how's it going in Wyoming? I want to visit Wyoming, okay? I want to go all around this beautiful country, and I've never been to Wyoming. I would love to see it. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so the millennium, I'm not going to get into the actual turning of it because we have a little more time in our retrospective, but I'm letting you know that we were soft launching a new millennium. We were talking about it, not quite at the fever pitch that it became in the next year that we're going to cover for our next retrospective of 1999. But yeah, this 1998, yeah, we were starting to get into it a little bit. If you remember, let us know in the chatmosphere, what were you feeling and sensing regarding a millennium, and we're about to turn a new century. Not century. Millennium is 1,000 years. So I'm even having to recall. Wait, millennium is 1,000 years. So we're about to change. They say the calendar, and we're going to be in a brand new millennium. They say, but this again is an agreed upon thing that somebody did without our consent. They had a social contract to make time administrative so that we can work our 40-hour work weeks like little worker bees, and we could have, nice chunked off time. Okay, it's a way to take time and also take labor. When you think about it, this is really all about our labor, our energy. Our energons, as Salty calls it. So this is a way to harvest our energy. I know that when people use those terms, harvesting energy, it can seem really like woo woo and out in the ether. Yeah, that term ether. It seems really not tangible to really understand. But this is a good way to think about how energy is harvested from us when we go into these social contracts of what is time, what calendar are we going on, what clock, what schedule, work week, and all this stuff. What is the weekend? What is the time we're going to give you off? And all of these things. And we didn't do any negotiating of this, right? We were born into it. So a new millennium, what does that even mean? Because you have places like Ethiopia, they're on a totally different calendar. Like, think about how crazy that is. And if you were on TikTok, if you get into this algorithm, which I love, uh, those far off north places where you see the northern lights, right? When I'm infatuated with the North Pole and cosmology and geography, old cartology. I love all of that right now. So, and I've loved it for quite a while now, right? We've been on this road, and when I look at like the TikToks of far north places where you're seeing the northern lights like all day long, they don't have nighttime during some parts of their calendar, you could say. It's daytime 24 hours, if you want to say. I don't know what clock they have agreed to up there, but you know what I'm talking about, where it's daylight all the time. It's never dark. And well, not never. It's dark maybe, but I don't know how many days, right? So the further you go into these parts of our realm, of this earth realm, you're going to have different things happening, possibly with the way that the clock, the celestial clock, the Most High Yah celestial clock, I'll call it. You were listening to Miss Lauren Hill at work this morning. Oh, yeah, this was her year, right? The Fugees. Yes, a lot has happened, right? When you think about it. But yeah, so I can get into these time conversations and really take up a lot of time, right? Because it's very interesting. So the aspect of Millennium is I didn't think about it as much as I was too busy to really think about it, right? Okay, so this is the year that they claimed that John Glenn, who we have been told, did he walk the moon, do the original moonwalk? Sorry, Michael Jackson. You were really the original Michael Jackson, but John Glenn, they claimed, was going to go back to space. But they didn't say back to the moon, but back to space at the age of 87, I believe he was that year. So 76, sorry, John Glenn. Is he still here? NASA announced that they were going to send Glenn in space again. That's weird. So I don't know why they would want to send a 76-year-old astronaut into space again. I don't know why. Oh, well, this was 1998, okay? So we were to believe this. Now let's look at the next slide. Let's see what is going on. So this is the year that Bill Clinton was caught up in his Monica Lewinsky scandal, and we see how that played out a bit. And it was quite a embarrassment for his family, I would say. He and his wife Hillary, if you could look at Hillary glaring at him. I mean, look at Hillary, everybody. What do you think she's thinking right now as he's giving a press conference where he denied the affair, then he had to admit to the affair because of the Starr report? Was it Kenneth Starr and the Starr report? Did that make Bill Clinton tell the truth about Monica Lewinsky and the cigars and the blue dress and the, oh my goodness, all of that happening in the Oval Office? How gross. How gross, right? What a hillbilly. Sorry, hillbillies, but this is not a good hillbilly right here, okay? I like my hillbillies, but this one is extremely ghetto. Okay, we had an extremely ghetto hillbilly in our White House, right? She's thinking, I hate you, fool. I mean, look at her. Now, you know, we got to know Miss Hillary a little bit more since this time period. And, you know, Hillary looks well put together, beautiful. She still was exuding femininity, right? She was the suffering wife. Oh, the suffering wife of this, what do we want to call him? A scoundrel. And I think she had some sympathy from the public back then, right? Man, talk about indoctrination. Yes, that's right. Talk about indoctrination. Yes. So we see where, you know, you have Bill explaining the definition of and, the word and, right? This man, talk about a lawyer. He lawyered us. His whole presidency, he lawyered us. And yeah, he's a skillful liar, tactician, Decepticon. So yeah, Monica Lewinsky, I'm not saying that she wasn't, that she was an angel, but was she underage? Give me was she an underager? She couldn't have been too underage because she was a page, right? In the what do you call it? She was a White House something. What is it called? A page? I'm calling them a page. So Aurora, welcome. Welcome from Cali. And Corinne, I see you over there. Welcome, Central Cali, where they grow all the good. That is a cornucopia out there, Central California. I love it. I've spent time in Central California. Corinne, welcome. Yes. Okay, so did anybody tell me? No, she was an adult woman. An adult woman. I have to stop thinking she was underage. She wasn't. She was an adult working woman. And I don't mean that literally, people, that she was a working woman. But she might have taken some responsibility in this. Mary, Oklahoma, welcome. Oklahoma. I love it. I've visited Oklahoma. I really have. I've had an opportunity. I love it out there. It's beautiful, beautiful hospitality, lots of history. Welcome. I want to return to some of these places in America. It's all about America, visiting all of the beautiful sites here in this country, isn't it? Who wants to go overseas? I don't. I want to see this nation right here. I want to see more of my country. 'Tis a thee. Sweet land of liberty. She was a honeypot, Beth says. I don't doubt that. I heard all of the conspiracy theories around this incident, and I do believe that Monica Lewinsky could have been a Mossad honeypot, right? Yeah, we've heard of that a time or two, the Mossad honeypots. So yeah, and the thing about Bill, it didn't take much to bring him down, did it? Easy work. Light lifting for a honeypot. And I think they even joked around about her not being too, how mean they are in our culture with women. And they were pretty mean back then, the comedians. Remember, they roasted her features. She wasn't, I guess, a skinny gal. So they always roast those types, right? And I guess she didn't meet the standards of whatever, a supermodel. So they would roast her on a lot of comedy type of venue type of things. But, hey, to each his own. I think she was cute. Definitely Bill had a type, because didn't he get sued, I think, the same year? We'll get to it. I think Paula, right? Paula. Jamie, hey, you said there's not much outside of this great nation that you would like to visit either. You agree? Yes, I want to see more of America. Yes. Okay, so Bill had to cop to the affair. So the PR machine was in full force to clean up this mess. And Hillary behind the scenes, I know she was punching some holes in the walls. I don't know. I've heard a thing or two about maybe some White House, the silver, not the China, right? I think maybe there was a story about the China and maybe a temper tantrum going on with Hillary. So let's go to the next slide. I've just spent too much. Oh, and you see the picture up there, right? That fast forward Epstein and then the blue dress. Wow. Yes. So we have Monica Lewinsky in this year. There were several books. So she told her side of the story. Paula Jones, thank you. That's right, Beth. Paula Jones, I think, got a settlement in this year. So, 'Cause, 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 she told her story. She did a book, and I guess it sold pretty well. I'm sure Andrew Morton, if he has anything to do with your book, it's going to sell. So she made a nice coin off of her story, and hey, that's what people do, right? I guess, she monetized her trauma. That's therapy speak. Okay, and we were really deep into therapy culture. We're starting to really deep dive into therapy culture in our nation, if you can recall. Next slide, we talked about Prozac Nation, our last retrospective. So yeah. Okay. Oh wait, before we do this, Marlon, can you play that one? We're going to take a minute. I want you to watch something. I want to get your take on something. Marlon, can you cue up the the video of JFK?
Yes. Let
Thank
me, give me just a minute on it. Okay.
Okay, all right. I want you all to watch something just a minute before we get into the rise of Putin. Pooty Poot. Hey, Pooty Poot. I don't know about you guys, but people say that he's changed a bit. Do you think he has? Do you think this is the same Pooty Poot Putin? I don't know. I think this is a maybe a process of aging. Could it be a process of aging? But this was the rise of Putin, Vladimir Putin, and he's been in leadership for quite a nice run, hasn't he? Oh, okay, 1 minute. We're gonna watch. I want you to watch something. I want you to listen to it with fresh ears and tell me what you think is going on. I don't know. I don't know. I need a group project. I need us to huddle and listen to this, okay, together. You think this is 2.0 Putin? Oh, yeah, you already know. Listen to it for me again. And just yeah, tell me what you think. Okay. What do you think,
Here we go.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Hang on, everybody. 1 minute.
Police and security guards in Belgium were caught flat-footed today by a cowardly sneak attack on one of the world's wealthiest men. The target was Microsoft Chairman Bill Gates, arriving for a meeting with community leaders. Watch what happens when a team of hitmen meet him first with a pie in the face. Gates was momentarily and understandably shaken, but he was not injured. The hit squad piled on with 2 more pies before one of them was wrestled to the ground and arrested. The others, for at least the moment, got away. Gates went inside, wiped his face clean, and made no comment. He then went ahead with his scheduled meeting. No word on the motive for this attack.
Oh no. I'm sorry, Marlon. Did I not send you the other one? It might be me.
No, you didn't.
I didn't get that.
It's all good.
Okay. All right, you guys. Forgive me. I wanted to play. I didn't get a chance to send it. JFK, you're right. You're right, Hermana. It was the pizza poem. I wanted us to watch it and listen to it again, but I forgot to send it to Marlon. It's my fault. Forgive me, okay? But okay, we probably will have another opportunity to listen to it. I think the year we missed it. I think it would have been the year prior, 1997, that he was on the Jay Leno show, and he read the poem that Monica Lewinsky wrote about herself as a pizza. So this would have been a young Monica Lewinsky, very young. It's one of the most bizarre things. At the time, I don't know if I watched the show live. I used to watch Leno a lot, but definitely to watch it in the modern days that we're in, knowing what's happened, it's Very weird. And you did bring up that she's a honeypot. So if that's the case, for her to write a poem as a little girl talking about herself as pizza dough, what kind of upbringing would that be? I'm just asking. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on. Forgive me for we watched this video out of sequence, but don't worry, I want to play it again if you don't mind when we get to that part. So the rise of Vladimir Putin was really getting underway, and we see now how his run has been. Also, in this year, they claim that Tsar Nicholas II and his family were exhumed from wherever they were, and they were buried in Russia. So they claim that happened in 1998. Do you believe that? I don't know what you believe about the Tsar, but I have been interested in a lot about the Russian Tsar. So Nicholas II, and so that would have been 80 years after the assassination of the Tsar and Tsarina and the family. And Anastasia, she may have escaped. And lots of theories out there about Anastasia, however you want to say it, Anastasia. What do you think about Anastasia? Beth thinks that Sex Kitten MK Ultra for sure. I believe that. Pizza is a, yep. PDF meaning yes. Yes. All right, let's look at the next slide. Let's see what else is going on in 1998. 1998, rewinding the year in a retrospective of American and other culture that affects American culture. So in 1998, we were starting to have the corporate casual become what I would say a morale booster for the burnout that was happening. And I can attest to burnout, corporate burnout. Listen, I could write a book about that alone. Corporate burnout from the corporate culture. Very artificial culture. If you know, you know. If you've ever been in corporate America, I was in corporate America 10 years. I served a 10-year sentence. And I had to deprogram myself. Imagine 10 years in corporate culture. I used to talk like, I always bring up TikTok. Do you know the girl on TikTok? The woman on TikTok, that was something that, the feminist inside of corporate America, if you called a woman girl or something, you would get chastised by the feminists. And I got chastised by feminists in corporate America calling a woman a girl. Oh boy. So I always stop myself. I try to. Okay, so a woman on TikTok, I think her name is Corporate Erin. Do you all know Corporate Erin on TikTok? And she's buttoned up corporate, and she's doing the whole corporate talk and like a robot, and just so funny. Corporate Erin. And I can so relate to Corporate Erin. Oh wait, Corinne said 21 years in corporate America for you, like doing time. I'm glad to see you out. You did your time. 20 years bond. You did 20 years. It is like jail. Welcome to the freedom. We're out of we paid our sentence. We did it. We did it. It was definitely like doing a sentence. So I did 10. You all are some real veterans over there. Salute, I think. Okay, so corporate culture started taking a nosedive when it comes to how we were presenting ourselves at work. Okay, and I have my own opinion about this, and I'm working on, you could say, quite a thesis about this. and its direct correlation with our culture and our civilization. All right. Our clothing is so important. And I know that when people are into fashion, it may seem like a really, oh, it's so it's just so shallow. But it can be shallow for some people. But others, well, when you look at it in terms of culture, it's not shallow. It's a marker for the health of a culture and society, how they present themselves. Because you can see, I use a lot of imagery from the 1800s, which I call the antebellum America. Some people call them the Victorian people. And the Victorian people, the Edwardian, what else do they call them? Many names, but I am now saying the antebellum Americans. They were dressed in the most elaborate garments. And it takes time to get dressed well. You have layers of clothes when you are living in a high culture. You're not just putting on pajamas, doggone it. When I lived out in California, not Central. I don't know what you all were doing in Central California because I never went out in your supermarkets when I was there. But in LA area where I lived, I had never seen this before. They're coming to the supermarket in pajamas and Ugg boots, right? So initially, I'm from the West Coast. I'm from the East Coast, a little more buttoned up, Philadelphia. My mother used to dress me like I was at some elite boarding school, dress me in all these clothes, plaids, and all this stuff, and bouclés. You should hear how my mother talks. She talks about, you have bouclé coats and buttons, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember, oh my God, it was too much. But layers, people, that is the sign of civility, right? You have layers. You wear socks. You don't put on shoes without socks. You don't go to work without some kind of covering over your feet. But no, now in corporate America, the women wear no stockings and dresses, kind of short. Yeah. And other changes in corporate culture when it comes to this casualness. First, they did Casual Friday, right? That's how it always begins. That's the slow decline. This is the slide. And this is how we lose our culture and civilization. It happens in increments. Do you see? And then before you know it, you are Minnesota. You are a shithole state because it happened incrementally. You began to crawl into what a casual, just loose laws, no standards, no code. And this is what happens. I can see it. It's so very, very obvious. This is objective information. Some of us lived it. We can really give witness to it. It happened to me personally. Like when I lived in California, like I told you, I'm going to the supermarket. I'm looking at people in their pajamas and Ugg boots. And I'm appalled. I'm looking like, what the heck is this? And within a year, I'm in Ugg boots and pajamas. Okay? Maybe not to the supermarket, but definitely to drop my daughter off. Okay? If you caught me in the drop off line, I had pajamas and Ugg boots on. I lived in my Ugg boots. In fact, I got a bad flashback just now I was eating some chicken nuggets. They were organic chicken nuggets, of course. And I was eating them, and it was like maybe the last chicken nugget. And they were so good. The nugget fell into my Ugg boot. It just fell into the Ugg boot. I don't know how it happened. Do you know what happened next? I want to read. Do you know what happened next? I want to see. Do you know? Do you know me? Let me see. Tell me what happened next. I'll wait. What do you think happened next? Is my microphone still working? What happened? Atmosphere. Is my sound still on? What do you think happened? You pressed. No. No, Beth. What? Beth. Yes, exactly. You are my people, Wyoming chick. You are my people. You parked to remove it. I hate it, Mary. I'm sorry. I know. It's a disgrace, I know. But this is I have to admit some of my wrongs, okay? It's part of my process. Yes, I ate it. I'm sorry. But I let myself go. Well, that was a given. Beth said that was a given. I see. I just ran the movie in my head. 5-second rule. Okay. It's a 3-second rule. Karen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is a terrible disgrace, but I did. Okay. Back to our regular casual Friday. You got it. I did, Raylene. Would you have done the same? Tell me, what would you have done? Tell me, please. Raylene, what would you have done? I told you it was my last nugget. Okay. All right, so back to Casual Friday, which began our decline of our civilization, and why I'm fishing chicken nuggets out of Uggs in pajamas in the drop-off line or the pickup line. You would have too. That's why I love you. That's why I love you. Disco Hermana, you would have. We all would have. Okay, 1 minute. I gotta wipe my eyes. I'm still with us, okay? All right, so what else do I want to say about Casual Friday? So the burnout of corporate culture, they figure it's like they have to throw you a little bit of bread and circus and a little bit of good vibes, I guess, because you are working on a cube farm plantation, right? So let's give them Casual Friday and let their whole identity go down the tube, right? Give them Casual Corporate Friday. It's a morale booster, doggone it. Karen says that was a I don't know and I don't care. I don't know and I don't care. Yes, it was. Okay. All right. Look how fast I can snap back into. All right. So Casual Friday, a morale booster, so-called, for all the crap you go through living in a corporate hellhole that it is usually. Maybe not yours. I don't know. Next slide. Yeah, look at sis over here with the holes in her jeans. That's where we are now. Okay, so where were we? Okay, let me see. We are now at, yeah. All right. So the dot-com bubble was starting to really get big, big. What happens to bubbles when they expand? So the dot-com bubble was really, really expanding. And Silicon Valley, the tech bros were just swimming in lucre, in coins, right? In shekels. They were rolling in it. Lots of very wealthy nerds. This is revenge of the nerds. Can you imagine the nerds that people treated really badly and they are now billionaires? Can you imagine the revenge that you would want on all the cool kids? Okay, did I just give myself away? I'm sorry, no. Do you realize, though, think about it. This is the ultimate Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds movie, it was also prophetic, was it not? We didn't know that we were going to see nerds grow up because basically the nerds were like, they're more so the baby boomer, some Gen X, right? Some of my Gen X peers were the tech bros, and they were becoming very wealthy. And these are people that were marginalized in high school. Some were treated very badly and bullied, and now they can read all of your data. They can do things to you, maybe, allegedly. And they're much richer than everybody. Isn't that the ultimate clapback? You will never forget. Don't ever forget it. Always remind me, okay? Or I'll remind you probably. All right. So we have the dot-com bubble just woo, getting big, big, big. Next slide. Let's see what else is going on. Tech Silicon Valley. Now this is fascinating, okay? I want you to really take a good look at this for a minute. They said in 1999, what is this organization? I don't remember. I have to look. Bear with me as I find my note. This is fascinating right here. Okay. They found, I'm saying they, a landmass was found. Okay, let me get to the explanation. It's called Dogger or Dodgerland. Doggerland. I don't know. Doggerland. Doggerland. Dodger. What is it? Is it Dodger? The LA Dodgers. They don't spell it. It's 1G. Dodger is 1G. So it's Dogger. Okay, so this land right here. Do you see it? Do you see my pointer right here? All of this green land. Greenland. All of this green. Where's Joseph? Joseph. Ireland is a lot bigger than we were told. You're not an island, maybe, possibly. They found submerged land that was once crucial inhabited landmass. So get a look at this. And when I just realized that they found this landmass that pretty much connects everything. How convenient. Look at this. So these islands are not islands. They are just high points of a landmass that has been submerged. Do you see how awesome? Did you know about this? Who knew about this? I didn't know about this. Bear with me a minute. I'm still here, but I want to read your comments. Anybody else knew about this? Did anyone? Let So this is amazing to me. Again, landmass found. The vast, low-lying landmass that connected Great Britain to mainland Europe during and after the last ice age, now submerged beneath the North Sea. It was once a diverse environment of hills, marshes, and river valleys that served as a heartland. Do you hear that? A heartland. So I am fascinated by this because I have some feelings that we're going to learn the same thing. It's been kept from us, but it's not going to be able to be kept from us any longer. And it's exciting. When you think about Florida, for example, and you think about all of the islands, you think about Cuba and things like that. What if everything was once connected and just all of what we were told, just one landmass, basically? I don't know. I'm thinking that we're going to have lots of neat surprises like that. I don't think it goes back to some meso whatever thousand. No, they're trying to get us in time immemorial by talking about dinosaurs and ice ages and millions of years out. And I personally can't get caught up in that allegory anymore. I have to get grounded in what makes sense. And that doesn't make sense to me at all. But what does make sense to me is that there was a cataclysm. There was an event that happened that changed everything. It changed the cosmology of our Earth realm. And every culture has some kind of memory stored of some event that happened. And it was a flooding event. How convenient that they find submerged land that was a heartland. Do you see, people, how amazing this timeline is that we are on? Even though we know the controllers want to get us to agree to things that aren't true about time, but at least truth is emerging. Everywhere you turn, it's exciting. So, yeah, hang on, people. We're going to learn a lot. When you think about Greenland and all of the conversations we're having about land, think. Cataclysm, think mud flood, think the great flood of Noah. Antediluvian. I'm talking right now, when it comes to our American history, I'm talking antebellum. When we look at a bigger microcosm, it is antediluvian. So we have been told that things started at a certain calendar date, when in fact we are now learning it didn't. So with the cosmology and everything of our world realm, these land masses were different. The names that we have now were not the names of the lands. That's exciting to me. It probably scares maybe some people. I love it. Hermana, what are you saying? You said, yep, for sure. You believe it too? Lots of land that's been hidden. Well, around Cuba, okay, I'm going to be talking about Cuba a lot. So around Cuba, they think that they have found Atlantis. Okay. And they believe that somewhere around the chain of islands, because as you know, Cuba is not just one land island mass. It's a very large one. They call it the Crown of the Antilles. Cuba is the best in terms of, sorry, Caribbeans, don't come at me, but I'm just saying Cuba is the jewel. It is like the crown jewel of the Antilles, of all of the islands in the Caribbean. Cuba is the crown jewel. And it is the crown jewel for a reason. I'll get into that as we go. But something's about to happen. It's brewing with Cuba. Something very deep is about to happen. So I'll be, like I said, I don't want to take too much time because I could talk a lot about Cuba. So again, Cuba is not just one island. They have islands around Cuba that, I told you this before, if you remember. If you live in Italy, I hope somebody would chime in if any of the Italian people of the chatmosphere, if you're out there. I have some Italian friends, and they could speak to this. Yeah, I haven't talked to them in a while, but they go to different places when they go on holiday. They go to places that are not, we don't have access to them. We don't have flights, for one, that fly to these places. We don't have any connection to them. But other countries, other nations, they have access to different lands than we do. Did you realize that? So if you were living in, I would say, southern Italy, maybe it might be so more so southern Italy, when you're going on your holiday, you can go to an island around the main island of Cuba, and it's very luxurious. I'm talking high luxury, 5-star resort accommodations. Like they may have, Four Seasons there, but it's named after this island near Cuba, part of the Cuban islands. And those people from Italy, that's where they go on vacation. And they have all the accommodations, like everything. But again, we don't know about it. When we look at our maps, our modern maps, we don't see those islands. You see what I'm saying? They're not even on our maps. So we don't know they're there. Out of sight, out of knowledge, out of mind. We never knew they were there. So how can we claim to know anything about our world and have a true understanding and be cocky about it? Like some people really think they know reality. None of us do. We're fighting to come out of this crap. Excuse me. We're fighting. We're working together. Like I say, this is a group project. We're working to find our way out of this cave. Yes. And some of us have a lantern, right? Some of us have a lantern, a little bit of light to help each other out of the cave. Come on, this way, right? This little light of mine, right? However your light, whatever size your light is, we have to start shining so bright now, because we are on the most amazing timeline. It is so exciting. Oh, wow. Your granddad, Roller Disco, says your granddad was Southern Sicilian. There you are. Even your granddad knew other parts of the world that we don't have access to. You know, being in Sicily, like that's a whole other world, like a whole other realm there alone. And I know you know that already, but like the more south you go, and then you're right there, the Mediterranean, you got North Africa. This is so exotic, right? We don't know anything about these parts of the world in terms of all the land masses. So it's just humbling. It's humbling. Raylene says Japan recently found several islands that they supposedly just discovered. There you are. So it's like they've had us on training wheels when it comes to landmass. We've been kept at the children's table, cordoned off from the North Pole, from Antarctica. But some people have gone to Antarctica. They have trips to Antarctica. It's just like people thought you can't go to Cuba. When I was traveling to Cuba, going back, a few times, and people are, how are you going to Cuba? You're not allowed to go. You're not allowed to go. And they just repeat these talking points. They don't understand what they're talking about. You can go to Cuba. You could have always gone to Cuba. Oh my God, I could have. Yeah, if you knew how to go, there's a way to go. You just have to know. It's called information. You don't have it. And now you're just talking out of ignorance, saying that we're not allowed to travel to Cuba. You were always allowed to travel to Cuba. If you look at your passport, the language will say it's not recommended, right? Like it'll be language like that. But we don't read, we don't read a lot of our documents. I'm the same. I'm not any better. I've been lazy about that. But it's just we just don't know a lot about our world, our realm. And now we're being like, we're being like I don't want to say enlightened. All these words I have to do, buzzwords. But we're coming out into this clearing and understanding a little more. And it'll just get more and more and more revelatory. Next slide. So Doggerland. Is that how I should pronounce it? Did I say it right? Doggerland? Dodgerland. It was a breadbasket. All right, so this is exciting to everyone who wants to fight aging. In 1998, they discovered the telomerase, which when you've probably heard about that, I'll say it's like the fountain of youth, the real fountain of youth. And this is part of the stuff that goes back to me, I believe it goes back to the Garden of Eden. And this is the knowledge of the trees that we were told to stay away from. We were not supposed to tap into immortality. We were not supposed to do it. We're not supposed to play around with a lot of this stuff right here. There's a reason that we age. It's a consequence of our exile from the Garden of Eden. So when we try to prolong our lives here and escape death or the consequences of aging, we're actually, we're not in alignment with the Most High Yah. So if we start playing around with our telomeres and chromosomes, do you think that we're supposed to be playing around with this stuff? Let me see your opinions on this. To be forever young. Why do we have this obsession with being forever young? It's really weird when you think about it. So it was discovered that the enzyme telomerase that slows down aging, and it has to do with the immortality of the cells. And there's a lot of things I could get off onto some tangents. When you think about cells and immortality, there was a woman named Henrietta Lacks who her cells, and she was a foundational Black American, by the way. You probably heard about her. Oprah Winfrey tried to involve herself in the story of Henrietta Lacks. When I heard Oprah Winfrey put her hands on that story, I knew immediately that it wasn't going to be told correctly. And she was sent in to be an agent, an operative. That's what they do when it's a story like that, or it's a story like Dr. Sabi. They send in one of the Black Boule, to do their operations, like Nick Cannon, when Nipsey Hussle was going to do a documentary about Dr. Sebi, who cured AIDS and cancers and just tons of disease. And Nipsey mysteriously is not with us. And then Nick Cannon supposedly comes in like a hero. Oh, I'm gonna do the Dr. Sebi documentary, and all he did was he created a what is it? A trailer. Now I am an amateur editor. Me. I can create a trailer for a Dr. Sebi documentary. I could do that with my cell phone, Nick Cannon. I could put a turban on and make a Dr. Sebi trailer with my cell phone. You dodo. Think people are stupid? And he claimed he was doing this documentary. It's been years now. And if you look it up, all you will find is a trailer. If I'm wrong, tell me. Because the last time I checked, nothing was done to continue that work. That very important work that could really heal people. No, Nick Cannon, he throws cold water on it, in my opinion. So, this stuff right here, in my opinion of this is that we're not supposed to mess with our telomeres and extend our lives. We were exiled from the garden. And in exile, it has consequences. And we've been living out the consequences of being exiled from Eden. And aging and death those are consequences. Nobody is going to escape aging or death. Sorry. We all have to go that path. So the best thing to do is to become healthy about dealing with it, where you can mentally handle this, having the right mindset and the right orientation to it. It helps, because this brings on mental disease. You look at that guy, Brian Johnson, you know, that creepy guy, Brian Johnson, who he gets blood transfusions all the time of young people's blood. And he's so obsessed with everything is so perfect. And he's like hacking into his bio, whatever. And he thinks he's going to live, eternally by hacking into his biology. So, and he looks like he needs a steak rare. If you look at him, he's like Casper the damn ghost. But he thinks he's going to live forever. Again, throw him a steak. So the the Fountain of Eden, I'm throwing every term. The Fountain of Youth is a fascinating topic. I want to look into it a little more down the road. St. Augustine, Florida. I had an aunt, LG. She used to have a place down in St. Augustine. She was in Chicago. She was one of those snow bunny black boy people that she had a place in Chicago in the winter, and then she summered down in Florida. They have Florida pads. So a lot of my family had places in Miami, St. Augustine, Tampa, wherever, whatever, Daytona, all throughout Florida. So they would just spend time there. And something is up with St. Augustine's. It's like they claim that Ponce de Leon was in search of the Fountain of Youth here in America. For some reason, there was a story about the Fountain of Youth being here. And we should look into that a little more, because I think it's something to it. But I don't think it's something that we get into that's bad, it might be just the water is really pure. It might be a healing type of a water, just to heal yourself and be vibrant, but it's not life extension. If you try to hold up your health and your wellness, that's not the same as hacking into your body to extend your life so you don't die. It's a difference. Hey Juan, welcome. Wyoming, I agree. He's freaky, right? Very freaky, that guy, Brian. So anyway, the obsession with youth is because we just can't handle the fact that we're going to die and age. Hola. Welcome, Juan. Next slide. So don't mess with your telomeres, please. I don't know. Mess with them if you want to. It's between you and God. Cloning. In 1998, 19 nations, I believe 19 nations signed an agreement that they were not going to clone human beings. So 19 nations did it. How many nations do we have in the world? Clinton was the president, and Bill Clinton, remember he had that press conference, I've shown it, where he said that he was recommending that people don't do human cloning. It was more so the language that was used was, yeah, we're not going to do it here, but hint, hint, wink, wink, you can do it there if you want. I don't know who's doing it. Somebody's doing it, and maybe Canada, where's our brother 420 Wild Dragon? Can you chime in? Are they cloning people up there? Because I thought they had a company, Clonaid, up in Canada. So I think Canada might not be one of those 19 nations that agreed to this. And, everybody that laughed at people that were talking about cloning, the people that laughed, isn't it funny now that this stuff is mainstream talked about? You can look at the press conference where Bill Clinton is talking about it. So we didn't just pull this out of the ethers. Yeah, people, you can clone another human. And that is breaking the laws of the Most High Yah. We are not supposed to be dabbling in DNA like this. This is Antichrist. This is unlawful. So anybody who is dabbling in the DNA of human beings and cloning them, doing life extension, anything like that, this is satanic. Yeah. And it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. So maybe that's why some nations go through the things they go through. So let's look at the next slide. This is very eye-opening, to say the least, that they really signed some kind of agreement that they weren't going to do it. Only 19, they say. All right, so this creep right here, this loon ball, a term I love that For No Fame uses. I love it. Loon ball. This guy, talk about revenge of the nerds. This is the ultimate revenge of the nerd scenario. Look at him when he was in college dropout. When I look at the young Bill Gates, I see a guy that looks like a normal guy that you would know. He's cool. I think Gates was kind of cool. He probably knew a lot about culture, because you can look up Bill Gates is DJing. He thinks he's a DJ. He thinks he's cool, right? With money, these are all the things he wanted to do. So he's like, I saw him in a kufi, one of those African kufis. I guess, yeah, he earned it. He vaccinated all the babies over there, right? So he has an African kufi, I think, and he's DJing, trying to, cut and spin. I don't know. This guy is creepy. Look at him. He's like in that one picture where he's testifying all of his I don't know, just monopolizing Microsoft monopolies and everything. But he looks so diabolical. He looks so, I mean, this guy is soulless, in my opinion. He's soulless. And he just, wow. He was thrown out of India, you say? I've heard that. I've heard that. And he was caught up with Epstein. That's why his wife skedaddled, because it was hard to defend. This guy was even saying creepy things like, yeah, well, he's dead now. Remember that creepy interview he gave? And they were asking him about Epstein. And he answered it was so creepy. This guy has no conscience, you could tell, like weird. But he laughed because he said, well, he's dead. So, wow, right? This kind of guy with power and money. Ugh. So, John F. K. Jr. did an interview of Bill Gates. He sat with him. And it was in the George episode that we all love. A lot of us, we love this episode, this edition. I don't know if you were able to purchase it. It's a collector's item, George magazine, the one about the future. So Bill Gates did an interview, and yeah, he just cringe, all the way cringe. Next slide. Oh no, not next slide. Let's find out what happened to Bill Gates this year, 1998. Something happened. I don't think he's liked too much. We already had a little preview, but hey, can we play the Bill Gates the Bill Gates video again, please? You say he's a very evil man, huh, Juan? He's a dweeb.
Police and security guards in Belgium were caught flat-footed today by a cowardly sneak attack on one of the world's wealthiest men. The target was Microsoft chairman Bill Gates, arriving for a meeting with community leaders. Watch what happens when a team of hitmen meet him first with a pie in the face. Gates was momentarily and understandably shaken, but he was not injured. The hit squad piled on with two more pies before one of them was wrestled to the ground and arrested. The others, for at least the moment, got away. Gates went inside, wiped his face clean, and made no comment. He then went ahead with his scheduled meeting. No word on the motive for this attack.
Wow. That was on CBS News. Can you imagine? I remember that. 3 pies to the face to let him know, we don't like you, Bill. I think it's safe to speak for a lot of us. We don't like you, Bill. You're not a good man. If you are a good man, prove it. That's all I'll say. Next slide. I used to think you were a nice guy, Bill. Not anymore. You and Oprah, people like that, just changed. You guys changed. All right, so where are we next? We are now looking at a teacher who really, you talk about creepy and cringe, is Mary Kay Letourneau. So in 1998, Mary Kay, she violated her probation. And I remember how very disgusting her behavior was, to hear about it and to know how low the profession of teaching has gone since her. She was like the archetype of the worst teacher in America. It is horrifying what she did. And I don't think it was really spoken of enough, how horrible. Maybe it was, but I think there was some sympathy for her because she was pretty. She looks like, all American apple pie. But this woman ruined the life of a child. And when women do it, it's like not as bad for some reason in the eyes of society. They give the woman a pass. This woman was a PDF file of the highest order, like worse than anything. I mean, like horrifying. And had a child, or children rather, with this child. She couldn't stay away from him. I don't know what he did to her. She left her husband and family for this child. And ruined his life, ruined her life, ruined everybody's life for selfish what? And she died an early tragic death and left children behind with all of that confusion that I can't imagine. It's not fair to them. I hope that they have healed or they're on a path of healing. It's just sad what happened. It's yeah. So Mary Kay Letourneau. Next slide. Where was she from? Don't tell me Minneapolis. Wait a minute. Do you all know what state this was in? Mary Kay Letourneau. Next slide. Let me just look it up real quick. I just forgot. I hope it's not. You have a little memory of something. I hope it wasn't Minneapolis. Mary Kay Letourneau. Anybody know what state? She was the one who got pregnant by a student. Yes, Corinne. Hey, the guru is here. Welcome. The clones of Dr. Funkenstein. Right? Dr. Funkenstein knew something. Sharon, welcome, Sharon. Sending lots of love to everybody. Thank you. So happy to have you here. So let's see. Where was she? Oh, so terrible. Just to read. This was in, hold it. They're not telling where. I'm scrolling through. Does anybody know? Was it California? First crime. Do they even? Villy was the name of the child. Villy. They're saying where he's from. He was Samoan. Sorry, it's just not telling me what state this happened in. I forget. Maybe it's for a reason they don't want us to know. Washington State? Oh. Wow. Lots of sad things. So Washington. City of Des Moines, Washington. Okay, so that's Washington. So this year, 1998, was also the year that Britney Spears did Baby Hit Me One More Time. So this is the Lolita archetype that we're looking at. Nothing new. Unfortunate. It is a very unfortunate case where we got to see the outcome of this program. It is believed in some circles that Britney Spears might be a cousin to the late Marilyn Monroe. If that's true, wow, right? I did a video on one of the channels that I'm locked out of, but I did a video about her and Marilyn Monroe. And when you look at them side by side in this one picture, they look almost the same. It's something that's very amazing, uncanny. So I don't know if it's true. It could be. A lot of them are related, so it's not a far fetch. So the Lolita archetype with Britney and the Disney, just a program of MK Ultra kitten, sex kitten stuff, and to see her today and the outcome, it is jarring. Yeah, so this stuff became iconic in our culture. So we have a lot of cleaning up to do. Next slide, please. All of this has to be reevaluated. The influence of Britney Spears is off the charts. And I just wanted to show a snapshot, just a small snapshot of her influence on the young. And I would say that, wow, look at that. And it continues to this day, where this look became an iconic meme, Halloween and different occasions. People still refer back to the "hit me baby one more time" look. So next slide. We also had a big payout in 1998 for the Archdiocese of Dallas, paid out to victims. How much? In the billions, I believe the number would have been. Oh no, millions. Sorry. The Roman Catholic abuse cases, altar boy abuse cases in the Diocese of Dallas paid $23.4 million to the abuse victims. Next slide. And this would be the year that Hugo Chavez was elected. Now, I don't know a lot about Hugo Chavez, and was he a really good guy? Did he begin the destruction? Did he bring communism? What did he do? But I see him with Fidel, and that makes me wonder. I look at all of these things. What is this book that he's holding up? What is that? Who is this guy in the picture? Is that his grandpapa? 3 times removed? Who's the guy in the picture? He looks like he's up to no good. But he looks like a colonizer. So there's a lot going on when it comes to Central and South America. A lot of communist, Marxist ideology has pervaded the nations of Central and South America. It's been like a cancer going through our world. The Marxism, socialism, communism ideologies. So we're going to learn that Cuba, Venezuela have been, as Jada Pinkett would say, they've had what did she call it? An entanglement. So I think I'm hearing that Venezuela and Cuba have had an entanglement that needs to be studied. What has been going on? Could it be that elections have been tampered with and paid for and sponsored and all kinds of other sponsored activities? I could get into a lot more, but we'll save it for another time. So Venezuela, if you fast forward, look at that. Interesting, right? So there you are. Next slide, Venezuela, our neighbor to the south. All right, and so NASDAQ had to pay out a $1.3 $3 billion civil settlement in 1998. NASDAQ was accused of price fixing. So there was a class action lawsuit. I don't know if you were in on that class action lawsuit, but it was settled. And they were saying that it might have been the biggest one in the history at that time. 37 major brokerages were accused of colluding to keep stock prices artificially high. So that happened. Next slide. What else was going on? This was the year that Lauryn Hill won, like, it looked like she had a shopping cart of Grammys that she went home with that night for her Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, her debut single after the Fugees. So Lauryn Hill's speech at that Grammy 1998, it moved me so much. I should probably go back and listen to it. I would have played it, but it takes a while to do all the things we could be doing, right? I don't want to make it too long, but yeah, this is a long live stream, so you can sit back and watch it another day, maybe half it one day and watch it another day, the rest of it, or watch it all the way through. But I do short form content too, but I like long form content. And I hope you do. If you do still like the long form content, let me know. And if you have other suggestions or requests, let me know too. I read your comments and appreciate them, okay? So Lauryn Hill gave an amazing speech. It was very touching at the time for me. I was very inspired by her. Very positive artist. And the industry hasn't been kind to her, I'll say. Next slide. So we have in 1998 also in culture, when it comes to movies, television, music, I just picked just a few. So the Truman Show would be the cultural juggernaut that really opened up a lot of understanding of reality in our world for a lot of people. And it's great that we can decode movies and at least start to understand some of the stuff that's been going on around us. And the Truman Show was one of the most, next to The Matrix and what other movies? I think The Matrix and The Truman Show were probably two of the most helpful movies to understand our current reality. So we had that. And at first, The Truman Show seemed very far-fetched, but as we've progressed on this timeline, The Truman Show seems prophetic, right? Like a documentary, you say? This is a documentary, absolutely. Corinne said DMX knew. Yes, he was a based guy. Yeah, if I had time, I would have played DMX. If you don't mind, maybe we'll listen to it. I have, we can listen to DMX where he did a poem about the industry. If you want me to play it, let me know. Maybe I could play it. We don't have to watch it, but you could listen. But he did a poem about the industry. He did it on Def Jam comedy or Def Jam poetry. What was it? I know the guru will know. But he really exposed the industry, and I think that was a no-no that cost him a lot, possibly his life. I don't know. It's my opinion. So we have, for television, Dawson's Creek. I didn't watch this show, but it was very popular. And you had Katie Holmes come out of that cast and some others, but she's the one I mainly remember, who went on to marry Tom Cruise and date Jamie Foxx and have a beautiful daughter named Suri and escape Scientology. Thank God she escaped Scientology. So she's the one that got away, hopefully. I don't know if she's still involved in that crazy religion, allegedly religion. Next slide. My opinion. You have to use all this language, right? Gosh. All right, so the Truman Show. I wanted to kind of like focus on that on our way out this evening, and I want to thank you again for joining. If you're still hanging out with me, yeah, I want to thank you for that. We have the imagery here that I had to look at it and it's just amazing, this movie, what it does for your understanding of this allegory, being stuck in time immemorial to yeah. When I look at the town and the view, you think about this is an aerial view, but it's not very high. So the view, it looks like a fish lens view, or if you're watching from a more curved lens, right? It doesn't look like a flat lens I'm just saying, and then, wow. Next slide. So I wanted us to look at some of the cosmology of our realm. Some of the ancient scholars and cartographers. Sorry, some of these words are our ancient world. Their understanding of the world was different from ours, and we're beginning to merge understandings and information. We're starting to understand a little more. Next slide. I really love cartography and cosmology. So when you think about the Truman Show and you look at this one image right here, I was astounded to look at the image, and when you look at look at the apparatus and look at I have to look at this movie again, but you look at the firmament, the references to the firmament, and it truly is amazing to begin to have conversations like this, where this would have been great to have had conversations in Sunday school, in church, about these subjects right here, about cosmology. It would have been really helpful. I like the picture of the firmament here. And if you look at the material or the way that it is structured, the architecture of it, they look like the panels of Buckminster Fuller's geodesic domes. Hence, Walt Disney's Land of Tomorrow and the Epcot globe is based on the geodesic dome and Buckminster Fuller. I told you that one of my dear friends, he's like a dad to me. I would call him he's like another stepdad, I'll say. He actually worked with Buckminster Fuller. So he talked a lot about his time. It sounded like it was a hippie commune type of vibe where you had all these young people and they were, congregated living off the grid and building these geodesic domes and learning this technology from this very brilliant man, Buckminster Fuller. So when I look at the picture of that dome and the material, and I think about the crystalline and the color looks like the waters above, right? Containing the waters above. I am so excited by this. I'm sorry. I can geek out on this right here. Can you geek out on this? Juan said church will not discuss this. Why? Why will they not discuss this? This is exciting. This has me in my total geekdom right here. All right, next slide. Sorry, Marlon. I'm geeking out. You have to reel me in, Marlon. All right, more cosmology to just take it in with me, geek out with me. I should have had the music that went with the. I looked up music that I put this in a reel. If you're not on Instagram, I do a little different stuff on Instagram. If you like reels and stuff, I like to edit a lot of reels and do things with music. So if you are on Instagram, look for me. Let's connect. I'm Jennifer Easton Washington, same name. Jenny the John is my handle on Instagram. But if you want to look for me on Instagram, I do a lot of this kind of stuff. But recently, a few days ago, I shared these images of the cosmology with the waters above and the firmament. And I had this music that I found. Listen to it. Sounds really cool. Tell me if you don't like this kind of stuff either, because I thought it was cool. All right, check it out. And it was called Firmament. You could go to the next slide. So this right here, so you kind of get a feel for this music, right? I thought it was kind of cool. If you want to look it up, they say it's like high frequency stuff, and we're gonna learn more about the high frequency music coming back and the bells and the pipe organs and things. So I thought this was fascinating. Coachella had a poster one year, and look at the poster. Look at this imagery. I found this fascinating. It looks like the floating city that we learn about in the book of Revelation, where it says New Jerusalem will come down from heaven, right? And then it will settle here. It'll settle, on new earth, it'll settle. I don't believe that we are currently on new earth. I just don't. If you want to come for me, come for me. We're all learning together. I don't have any problems with people learning and giving their information. I don't know everything. I'm learning. I'm excited about this. I like to watch other people that do their good scholarship and they have good intentions for helping with this group project that it is. But I don't profess to have this all understood. But I am excited about this topic of cosmology because I think that it grounds you in the reality of the Most High Yah. Since we are stuck in these crazy calendars of these kooky people that want to control time and people, until we can get freed from this completely, at least we can learn and we can ask the Most High Yah to put us in resonance with his timing. So until that time, we know that this calendar and this time is not real. At least we know that. We didn't know that. I didn't know that. So again, the Coachella poster, I am just, wow. If I were like a young person going to Coachella, I would have been the one that got on everybody's nerves because I would have been geeking out over the poster, right? Look at this, everybody. We would have been dressed in all of our Coachella stuff. Imagine if you were one of these Coachella girls and I would have had the poster. I would have wanted to buy that poster to put it on my wall, and then I would have been pontificating, smoking my lettuce, probably, right? I don't know, doing a mushroom and talking about Cosmo. I'm sorry, I'm not condoning these things, but my channel's not for children either. Okay? So I'm just thinking, well, mushrooms and stuff. That's another topic for another day. I'm not making any moral judgments on it, but I'm saying it probably would make you talk about this stuff in a different way. I don't know. But no, the Holy Spirit of the Most High Yah will give you the understanding. You can read other text that, I've talked about, and I've read the entire book of Enoch to us, right? We've done that on another channel. I like this particular Bible, the Ethiopian Bible. I want to get more of the other apocryphal books, and get into some of it a bit more. Like, I want to definitely start talking about the book of Jubilee, the Jubilees, right? The Jubilees. Talk about that more. So this particular illustration on the other side of the Coachella illustration is from a children's book. I don't know the exact children's book. I'm sorry about that. But this is amazing. It again, it looks like the same type of cosmology. We need to discuss that further, Jen. Yeah? Which one? What do you want to discuss further? Tell me. Tell me what you need to discuss. I probably missed what you were saying. I'm sorry. I'm all into my thing. But I just wanted to show you just how much this might have been in our children's books, and we didn't understand, or we did understand, because I've had children's books that were from another realm. I was gifted a children's book in Russian, and it had a lot of powerful images. I lost the book, and I grieve losing this book. But this kind of reminds me, in a way, of the type of illustrations that were in the book. But it was so opulent. Oh my goodness. I could talk forever about it. But anyway, next slide. Next slide. So I just wanted to show more of the cosmology and how I talked about this particular image, the globus. The globus. What is the full name of the globus? Okay, sorry. You don't mind? Bear with me. I forgot the exact name of the globus. This it is, does anybody remember? It's called the globus cruciger. The globus cruciger. I love that symbol. It resonates. There's something about it. And quite possibly the reason is that it might be based on a memory inside of us, that's programmed inside of us, that this is representing the biblical cosmology. Could that be it? I mean, it's a globe, but it's also contained, because it's more than just the globe that we've been taught, misdirected by NASA. I believe more in what the biblical cosmology of this contained system, with a firmament above and the waters above and the waters below. a contained system. So that is, I was just amazed that the Globus Cruciger was also a part of this discussion. So yeah, it's a lot to it. I am again truly excited about these topics. And in terms of this millennium spell that we were starting to get put under, I'll speak about it more from the biblical overtones and the reset symbolism and things like that. How ritual, time is a ritual that's used for mass compliance and rehearsals. It's to get compliance and sometimes to put fear into people and governments and corporations. They need to control us. You know, the 40-hour work week, the punch clock when you go into work and you punch it and you can't be late and oh my God, I'm late, and all of that stress and cortisol rising up in you and the rush hour. So it's like a contingency drill. It's a way to update our system, our brain, and centralize time in a way. But a lot of fear is used to get us to be compliant with it. And it's basically, I'll talk about the Y2K versus 2020 as we're coming up on this millennium change soon. But the Truman Show being, can you go back to that slide a minute, please, Marlon? I just wanted to say one more thing before we finish up right here, because it harkens back to another live stream that we did. One more back, I think. Oh, maybe one more. Sorry. The one that, yeah, this one. Thank you. I want to just keep this one for a minute. If you remember when I talked, I had the most amazing interview with Jason Brashears of Archaics. I haven't been like, I've just been out of the loop. I don't know what he's up to, but we had the most amazing conversation. He was so gracious to come by and talk to us. And it was a powerful conversation. Wow. I think it was like 3 years ago. So he mentioned a word. I need to go back and watch that video. It's on my old channel that I'm locked out of. So he mentioned a word. I think he mentioned it. If anybody remembers, it was simulacrum. 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 I know I'm not saying it right. Simulacrum. So a simulacrum. Sorry, wait a minute. Can I put it in? Let me see. Can I join the chat? Let me spell it. That might help me. I thought I connected. It's telling me I need to connect my YouTube. What? I did. Wait a minute, you guys. It's telling me I need to connect my YouTube to talk to you all in the chat. I thought I did all of that. Bear with me a minute. I thought I was there. I want to be able to just spell the word. Okay. Let me know if anything happened weird. Am I still on? Can you hear me? I'm just spelling the word out so that some of you all that can pronounce it a little better than me. And let me know if this was the word that Jason used. Okay. I put it in the chat. Simulacrum. That's the best I can do, people. You can tease me. I don't care. All right. The simulacrum is like a copy without an original. It's a representation that replaces reality rather than reflecting it. So I was wondering if the simulacrum is like, because when I remember what Jason mentioned, a skin, like a membrane or something, and I thought, if you wallpaper, which I love wallpaper, and say you put wallpaper on the ceiling, the entire ceiling of your home, that's what I think of the simulacrum is like a very thin, opaque, you could say, skin that is lining our firmament in a sense, a reality that we have been under that's not true. And it's like the allegory of the cave comes to mind. So the Truman Show seems to be informing us about a dome, a bounded reality, and a sky that is a projection, and cameras and scripts and cats that like to talk, that don't know why I'm wearing these glasses. So it's a managed environment. And the internet is a simulacrum also. I'm sorry. She doesn't like my glasses. It's okay. What are you detecting about my glasses, Kimba? Kimba, everybody, doesn't see me in these glasses a whole lot. I guess she doesn't like it. She doesn't know who I am right now. It's still me, Kimmy. Okay? Everything's okay. It's still me, Jen. All right, so it's how we perceive reality, how it is mediated to us. And I don't feel that we're trapped, as some people might say. In the Truman Show, it seemed like he was trapped. And some people may say that this is a prison planet, like Alex Jones mentions it, and a curated reality, like a reality show. And these are things I want to talk about more, because these cosmology domes, and when I think about snow globes, I don't think they're popular anymore, but I used to love snow globes as a child, and I didn't understand. They seemed very magical. Certain toys like that had a more special feeling. Another thing were like kaleidoscopes. When you looked into a kaleidoscope, I liked things like that. And then the tree of life references in these images, the world axis, the axis of the world. So we can talk more about it. Just remember, we are not chained in the cave. We can come out. And we are coming out, aren't we? So I'll talk more about this as we go into the new millennium. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, requests, Let me know if I didn't catch it. Oh, wait. Juan says, oh, wait. Corinne says, it's because you know we live under. Right, right. We knew it as kids. Something in us, like it says in the Bible, that eternity was placed in our hearts by the Most High Yah. So when we look at biblical cosmology, Juan, you got your daughter. She collects them? Oh, my goodness. That's a great thing to collect. Oh, I want a snow globe now. Oh, I sound like a brat, right? I want a snow globe. So I used to see them a lot. I don't see them anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, I never see the snow globes. You love the snow globes too? Oh, maybe we'll all start getting into snow globes, like giving each other gifts. Or somebody, how about somebody create, oh my God, here's an idea for the young people. This is what I want to do. Give ideas to the young people. They run with it. Wouldn't it be great if a young person starts a business and they make snow globes? If you're old, don't you do it. Don't you? This is for the young people. Stop being greedy. Let them have their turn and stop gobbling up everything. I want a young person to do that, right? Not China, here in America. Manufacture globes that are biblical cosmology, like something beautiful like this, right? Not Santa Claus in the North Pole, but the North Pole, the real North Pole. Huh? We have to teach the young people the true biblical cosmology, because maybe that would ignite the imagination and we would have a young person run and create snow globes for everybody. We'll be like Oprah. You get a snow globe. You get a snow globe. You get a snow globe. And I'm going to be stopping on that note, okay? You get a snow globe, everybody. We don't have any base snow globes. I like that, base snow globes. Okay, so that is it for now. Unless you want to listen to DMX. It's going to have some cursing. I know I was talking about God and everything, but this is DMX. I curse, and I know I shouldn't curse so much. I'm a work in progress. I know that's a cop out people use. All right. Who wants to listen to DMX on the way out before we go? Because I'm done with my talking points. I'm done with my think piece. Anybody want to listen to DMX talk about the industry, his poem? You do? Okay. If you want to head out, I want to say thank you. Join me again for the next one. I'll keep you posted. I do a lot of keeping people posted on TikTok and Instagram. Okay. Thanks. Bye. love you, Raylene. Thank you. You want to listen to it? Okay. So you'll be waiting on your snow globe. You probably have snow right now in Wyoming. Okay. See if you can listen. I'm going to play this. I don't know if it'll. You're just listening. Let me know if you can hear it. It sounds maybe. Let me know if you can hear it. I'll do it another time then. Okay, but we'll just say DMX was debuted. It sounds too bad. Okay. It was no audio. Okay, we'll just save it for another time. Okay. If it fits in organically. But we know that this is the year DMX debuted his music, and he was a based rapper, and excuse me, he told a lot of truth and stood for a lot. Yeah. You look up to him, Corinne said. Okay, and he's gone now. So, yep, the late DMX. So we'll leave out on that note, and I'll see you soon. and we will wait. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Nada? Somebody said nada. Now I can't hear you. Oh no, you can't hear me? Let me get rid of this. It might have been me. You hear me, curbside pharmacist? Thank you. Welcome. You hear me now. Okay, it might have been me getting caught up in that thing. It was just some little extra thing I thought of. Sorry, Marlon, I didn't think of it in time. And I messed up on the other thing I forgot to send Marlon. All right, just please forgive me. As they say, charge it to my head and not my heart. It was a mistake. I'll get better. All right, Marlon, I'll see you. We're going to leave out, and thank you for joining. Take care, everybody.